Hello, I'm Elijah Gutman. Be commenting on 182 and 183, a couple other regulations. 250,000 liquid capital requirement. The average income of a black person in Nevada is $24,000. The average income of a white person is $188,000. Let that sink in. It's clear that you don't want non-white people in this industry. This is liberal racism. Our communities have had to rely on cannabis due to lack of health care historically, and now we're being shut out of it. Why keep up the charade? Why go through the process of creating equity licenses when all the regulation prevents any kind of investment except by rich white women? Then you want to outsource minority verification. What do I have to provide a skin graft of my skin for verification? To add on top of that, to add on top of the required skin graft for verification for minorities, or the verification for minorities is going to be outsourced to a women's rights organization that is made up of rich white women. I wonder if all people black enough according to their standards. Why are family members of people affected by drug laws allowed to apply? This is going to dilute the possibility of people affected by laws to obtain licenses. At least require the person actually affected by drug laws to sign off on a family member opening up something under their minority status. I should have expected nothing more from Nevada after how we handle dispensary licenses. This time around, at least let us know we don't matter. Tell us to our faces you care only about money. We could change the regulation to include all assets a person has, including home, cars, stocks, etc. This will make the playing field for lounge licenses more fair for communities in the future. Please reconsider making people prove they're black enough, or at least move verification to an organization made up of black people. 300 feet from a community facility, 1,500 feet from a gaming establishment. This regulation is ridiculous. It would make it virtually impossible to invest in minority communities anywhere. Low-income communities are infested with gaming establishments in every street corner. 7-Eleven, gaming establishment. Smith's, gaming establishment. I can go on and on. You want to know what's on almost every street corner in low-income communities? Churches, daycare facilities, and community centers. This leaves no commercial space for lounges, and these regulations leave no hope for our communities. Apparently, the gambling lobby gets priority over our communities, with minorities left to languish like usual. Can minorities ever win? I already know the answer. Absolutely not, as long as white people dominate this industry. Please scrap these regulations. Minorities deserve a fighting chance to succeed. I'm sick of seeing minorities be left to wither away in the dirt. Thank you.
Happy New Year, board, since I haven't seen any of you. And congratulations, Executive Director, on your new office. I'm Aisha Goins with Black Joy Consulting, and I know that we have held item 10, but I just wanted to give words on item 10 since I was here. Um, I want to just thank the board for being conscious of the difference between diversity and social equity, the importance of what that is to the community. When we talk about diversity, it is important, and I do want inclusion in the marketplace, but I also don't want to water down the trauma and the generations of trauma that has been done to those persons that was most harmed by the war on drugs. And so I know that you are still deliberating on what all of it encompassing in putting together the consumption lounge regulations. And I absolutely don't wish that I was in your seats having to do that, because the whole world is waiting to see what you all are going to do. I do want to stand here on behalf of CEIC, Cannabis Equity and Inclusion Community, and remind you that those persons that were most harmed by the war on drugs are people. The ACLU just did another study in 2020 that says that 3 times Black and Latinx people are still 3 times more likely to be convicted of possessions in those states that are not regulated. Still, people are in jail because of cannabis. We are still dealing with traumas of those persons who have family members and people in prison for cannabis. And yet there are still people that we have seen line up here making money off of this industry. That is a specific person. They have been identified. I want this marketplace to be inclusive. I am going to always work. I'm going to represent the community. The community is my heart. I live to serve. It's my pleasure to serve them. And I want to just ensure that the board is considering that person, that you see them and that you hear them. And that when you're deliberating on what this should look like, that you remember that those are people. I thank you for your time, and I'll leave my comments with the staff. Thank you.
Thank you.